Hey there, welcome to WNBF News This Week. I'm your host, Michael Maley. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that there's something called sports tourism, and it's taking a huge place here along the Grand Strand. Joining us today to talk about the impact of that and what it means for you or me now today are represented North Myrtle Beach as well as Myrtle Beach. Let's start with North Myrtle Beach. We've got John Bullard, Director of Parks and Recreation with North Myrtle Beach, and Matt Gibbons, thanks for coming in, the Athletic Director for North Myrtle Beach. Also, of course, sitting beside me, Mayor Rhodes, Myrtle Beach Mayor. Thanks for being here. And Dave McPherson, Events Director with Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday.
Thanks for having me.
Gentlemen, thanks for being here today. We've, in the news headlines, had a lot of coverage of the events going on. Of course, we're talking about the Beach Ball Classic Tournament, top 16 teams in the country for women and men. Of course, we're talking about upcoming volleyball in January for Myrtle Beach, a number of golf tournaments that you've helped organize throughout the year, of course. And lately, we've talked about North Myrtle Beach wanting to get in on this action as well, too. Let's touch on this, and we're going to air a story here in just a second about this sports complex, a pretty big deal. Talk about why the motive to get this happening.
Great, sounds terrific.
What about this event that you're talking about? We're going to air the story here in a bit, but as far as getting this complex, this sports complex together, talk about what it took to make this idea even a reality.
Well, the City Council and I think our Chamber of Commerce came up with an idea a year or two ago that it would be a tremendous asset to our city if we were able to have a facility that would take part in the sports tourism industry. And since that time, we've done lots of information gathering, we've done feasibility studies, and we think it would just be terrific if we could get a facility.
And Matt, as far as the number of sports teams that could come, it could be really any kind of sports team.
It really is, and that's the great thing about getting into it now is we kind of have an option to kind of look and see where our niche is. I know we've been in talks with the National Collegiate Sports Invitational, which is a group that focuses on bringing collegiate teams down for spring training. We've got them starting off in 2011, and we hope to grow. But really, a good thing with us and where North Myrtle Beach is that we can kind of find out where our niche is and then kind of go from there.
Excellent. I want to air a story now that we aired on WNBF News earlier about this complex, the plan to get the complex going. Of course, it's a work in progress, but take a look here now at what North Myrtle Beach is considering.
I think it's really exciting to have a tournament at the beach. I think it's really important for these girls to be able to have one in their own backyard.
We don't have to travel as far, and I mean, it's good for the economy with it being in January.
This volleyball tournament is a first for the city of Myrtle Beach.
When you bring girls into town, guess who comes? Mom and Daddy, and Grandmama and Granddaddy.
Mayor John Rhodes is ready to welcome well over 3,000 out-of-towners, pumping about $3 million into the local economy. And that's something that really has the Chamber of Commerce excited too.
When people are in town, they have to sleep somewhere and they have to eat somewhere. So it's always a good time of year that hoteliers love to have people in town.
The tournament is recognized by the USA Volleyball, the sport's national governing body. With them on board, Coach Alex Singh with Grand Strand Juniors Volleyball Club says the tournament is more than a game.
What we're hoping is that college coaches might come to the area to recruit some of their players and just get more exposure for the Grand Strand and Myrtle Beach.
You know, don't have a whole lot of volleyball here at the beach, and I think volleyball is really catching on as far as the indoor version with a lot of clubs in the area. So it's a big event. Ranks very high up there.
Athletes between the ages of 12 and 18 are invited to compete. They'll play on one of 16 courts at the convention center or 6 other courts in town.
Having this tournament in the middle of January, when there's absolutely nothing going on except cold weather, is showing what positive things can come out of proper promotion in sports tourism.
I'm just really excited about what's happening and what's going on with the club because this means that we're growing, and growth is important.
Focus of actually Myrtle Beach and the volleyball tournament coming in January. We're going to show this story about the North Myrtle Beach Sports Complex in just a minute. But Mayor Rhodes, brand new idea, and was it 80 to 100 teams already signed up for this January volleyball tournament?
Actually, we have now cut off the number of teams at 150. It's something, I mean, it's more than we ever expected in the first year. So there's demand out there in January that you to get between 4,000 and 5,000 people in town. It's going to be a nice impact. You know, back over to John in North Myrtle Beach, I'd seen a layout of the project a few years ago, and it's going to be a beautiful project. And I'm glad to see that North Myrtle Beach is is now going to come and get involved in sports tourism, because we're in this all together. You have to understand that whatever you do to promote the Grand Strand, whether it's Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, Surfside, we're in this game together. So there's going to be events coming in that's going to be headquartered in North Myrtle Beach that they're going to have to be playing on our fields. They're going to be the same thing for us having to play on their fields. So we're going to be sharing.
Right.
And we cannot wait for them to get the facilities built so that we will have an opportunity to bring more in. You know, Michael, I'll tell you one thing about sports tourism. It's really interesting. Jump off, we'll take the lead road, just sit back and relax, don't worry about a thing.
This is easy for me. I'll let the mayor take over.
About a couple of months ago, I was with a couple of our leaders in the business community in Myrtle Beach, and I was talking about the expansion of the convention center, where we needed a more flat space and what they thought about it. And one of them that's in the restaurant business said, no, build more sports complexes, build more athletic fields. You know, that conventioneer that comes down, maybe by himself or might have his wife, but that sports activity, that sports tourist that comes in here with that little girl that's 12 or 13 years of age is playing softball, I stand out there and I looked and I said, well, there was a mother, and there was a daddy, and a little brother, and her grandparents. He says, now I'm feeding 6 people rather than 1 or 2. So this is the difference. The income per event will be one of the largest opportunities that we have to grow financially and also in the number of heads and beds. So that's the importance of sports tourism. And with this volleyball, the thing about volleyball that's different than some of these other AAU events, each parent is responsible for bringing that participant, that athlete to the beach to be here. So they are going to be about 2.7 people per athlete. And I think it'll be even more than that.
And that's colossal. And let's, of course, not forget about just a few of the golf courses that we absolutely do have here along the Grand Strand. Dave McPherson, Events Director of Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday. This is colossal. And are you seeing overall an increase in interest in the golf courses and other events?
Oh, absolutely. And to the young folks out there that come in for the volleyball events things. We run a high school tournament during Easter weekend, and the great thing that we see about it is not only that these kids are bringing in their parents and they're staying for the entire week on a family vacation, but the future of those kids and touching them at a young age, so that when they get older and that they're going on vacations on their own, they know Myrtle Beach, they recognize it, they feel comfortable with it, and we continue to turn that over and keep the funnel full with potential people that want to come to Myrtle Beach on a golf vacation or just any kind of family vacation. There's tremendous potential there, and when we're up to 72 teams, high school golf teams, five kids per team. They come from 20 different states, and that continues to grow from things like that.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk a lot more about the sports tourism impact on our local economy. When we come back, though, we are going to show you the story about the North Myrtle Beach Sports Complex idea that's going to come up right after the break, so stay close.